What is up? Welcome into Driving the Line on Demand College World Series edition. This is like what, the 19th show we've had this weekend, and I love it. It's good to see everybody here. Drop questions, comments, anything you have into the chat. Let's break down and talk about this game. So let me pull up the picks here, and we will see where we sit. There we go. All right. So coming off of the Virginia Florida State, we hit the Florida State race to 5 runs plus 105. Miss on the over 12.5, but that is all right because we have Florida State on the money line in Tennessee on the money line at plus 175. So looking forward to that. Tennessee gets the win. That will leave us 2-1. Well, yeah, 2 out of 3 in the first game and some nice plays here on the second. So, excuse me, let's get into what we have here, and I'll put myself on the screen. So we have North Carolina, Tennessee over 10.5 at minus 115. We're also going to go Tennessee race to 6 runs at plus 115. You can find that at DraftKings and other books. If you can't find it, let me know. It should be under game props. Big Mike says, did you get your crawfish? Man, I haven't had any. I wish. Didn't get a chance to do it, but you know what? We got more days to do it. So I'm not seeing comments in our the program that we use to go live. So give me a second here. Let me pull up the actual YouTube video here, and we can see. Make sure that we get all the comments and whatnot right there. Caleb, yeah, surprised we're still getting the over 10.5 with the Vols game. I know. So okay, so let's break down why that is, and it's gonna be pitching. All right. So you've got Shea Sprague throwing for North Carolina. They're number 2 lefty. He's pretty good. Now he'll give up home runs. Granted, this is a bigger park, Charles Schwab Field, but he'll give up some bombs. He gave him up to West Virginia, and he will do it. Tennessee is throwing Drew Beam. Drew Beam's a stud. Absolute stud, and he is due for a big, big game. He's had a couple not so good ones as of late. Now, then again, I mean, take a look at the competition he's pitched against, but you could say that for any of these teams, right? Like they're all playing very, very good teams over the last, well, I mean, all season, but over the last month, for sure. Double Down says DraftKings has 11. All right, they moved that one. Tennessee hit 3+ home runs at plus 205. That's worth a shot. Okay, that is worth an absolute shot. Now, understand when I say, and this goes perfectly. Look under the yellow line here on Sunday's plays. You see Tennessee win and scoring 10+ runs at plus 400. Understand, I put the line there so that I'm just taking a shot at something that's 4 units. Okay, this is certainly nothing that we put on the recap screen, like take this bet, that's not it, right? But same thing, Brad, I said that to say this, same thing with that, dude, that's worth a shot. Honestly, that's very much worth a shot there. It is what it is because it's plus 205, but bro, I feel it. I really do. Bobby says, yeah, that's ride, my guy. I love it, man. Let's do it. Justin says, I'm liking the under 10.5. Look, okay, let me say this. The pitching, this game is going to be about pitching. And I know I keep saying that, but it is. Now, here's what you have to look out. Okay. So the race is going to be who can get to the bullpen first. Okay. Tennessee, not the best team hitting left-handed pitchers. Okay. So if they can jump out early, get that pitch count up, they can do some massive damage. Same thing, though, for North Carolina. If they can get to Drew Beam, look at what Tennessee and the pitchers that they had to throw out against Florida State. Excuse me. Like, that could be a problem. If Tennessee has to go arms and arms and arms and arms and platoon this thing, that could be trouble. But I say that, again, bringing it back, Justin, my man, this could be there's an opportunity here for it to look similar to Florida State, Virginia, where it's a Sahara Desert for the first 5 innings, right? Like pitching can be that good, but it can also be blasted. Like I know I'm not giving you a great answer. What I'm saying is I don't I don't hate the play at all. You know what I mean? Like, even though I'm on the opposite side, like I see where your rationale is coming from, and it's smart. So yeah, I feel you. Tennessee covered the over. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Trent says, what about the problem both teams scored in the first? Okay, so we brought this up in the last one. It's difficult because you have really good pitching. And I don't hate the play, especially at 115. I think the last game was like minus 145. It didn't hit. Now, it quite frankly, it should have. Virginia, quite frankly, missed a ton of opportunities early in that game. They had runners on, runners on, runners on. They just couldn't get them past second base. So again, like I lean yes, and it's worth the shot. It's just there's risk. Like it's just those are tough, man. Those first inning bets, first 3 inning bets, like you just need a little bit of luck on your side too. It's just, dude, it's brutal, man. Scrappy, I like Tennessee to score first, plus 100. Yeah, I don't hate it. Look, I'll tell you what. Let me pull up the stats here. We can take a look here at both of these teams. Give me 1 second. Okay, comment down. So here's what we have. North Carolina, 47-14. Tennessee, 55-12. Batting average, both over 3. Runs per game, 8.7, 9.2. Home runs, 113, 173. Right? Last 5 game ones, it doesn't really matter. But last 5 game twos, take a look at that. North Carolina is elite in game twos through series this year. Elite. And it has a lot to do with their pitcher, Shea Sprague. So, Justin, when you said you like the under, yeah, like a lot of his games go under. Very, he's a left-handed dude. Let me put myself back up here. He's a left-handed dude who, well, I'll leave this here. Who can get a lot of ground balls, a lot of them. Double plays come into play as well. Neutral sites: North Carolina 2-3, Tennessee 7-2. ERA is 4.2, 3.83. All right, good pitching staffs. Runs allowed per game 4.2, 4.0. It's another thing. Like when these two teams are on with their pitchers, they're lethal to deal with. Lethal. It's tough to score runs. But the same token, both of these teams can be very much taken advantage of. Both of them. I mean, we saw Florida State. Like, Florida State had their way. You know what I'm saying? So that's like just something to be careful with, right? Okay, let me pull this back off. We'll go back to our picks. Okay, there we are. So that's where we're sitting. Let me go through the chat here. Bob, ESPN still has 10.5. Nice. Tennessee score first, plus 100. Nice. Here's another thing. Watch out for this, though. Here's the scary part with that. Like, Tennessee gives up a run in the first inning at an unreal amount. It's odd. And when Drew Beam is throwing, even though he's outstanding, right-handed pitcher, by the way. I like this play overall. Just be warned. Like, it is weird. Tennessee gives up a run in the first inning so many times. They won almost every one of those games, but it's almost at an odd rate. So just something to pay attention to. Avi says over, baby. Yeah, I'm telling you, man, 10.5. I like it. Rather to be at the so 2 money. FanDuel Illinois has 4+ home runs. Oh, combined? Oh, that's nice. Like, North Carolina hits a lot more home runs than people give them credit for. North Carolina was 10 home runs on the season, less than Florida State. Florida State hits a lot of bombs. So yeah. I like that play too, man. Obviously, says Tennessee get a match. Like, okay, so that's another thing to talk about. Both these teams are coming off walk-off wins. All right, we had previous game. Both teams are coming off walk-off losses. Now, does that have a ton to do, from 2 days ago to now? Not necessarily, but kind of. Like, I think Tennessee coming back in that game, there's an opportunity here where it wouldn't matter who they play. They just come out and blast. But I've seen Tennessee give up a ton of runs too, right? But yeah, like Avi, man, I'm with you. Like, there's no reason for Tennessee not to come to the plate, having fun, being aggressive, um, because they essentially stared death in the face and lived to tell about it. You know what I mean? Like they probably should have lost that game, and now it's like in baseball. Anybody who's played, like, if you're in the field, right? Like if you're pitching and you get a hitter, hit a little pop fly in foul territory, and the third baseman drops it. It's usually a death sentence. Like that dude's going yard the next pitch, right? Because you can't give somebody, you just can't give two lives. You know what I mean? So we'll see though. North Carolina's a really good team. Um, remember, over's dead is never dead. With these two teams, especially with Tennessee, it's absolutely never, 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 never dead. No. Justin Virginia with the sell of the century, no, right? This was difficult to rush across the Delaware when he said, "Not today, sir. We ride Big Trent." Absolutely, man. NASCAR picks out on Twitter too. I think the race starts at what, 45 minutes? It's going over. I promise y'all. Yeah. No first six for me, but Tennessee team total is set at 5.5. Yep, I dig it. Tennessee could lose and score over 5.5. I mean, I think Tennessee is going to score runs today. Yeah, I like that. 135. I mean, I get it. It's a little juicy, but I like it. Let's see. Justin, I also think Tennessee just plays a cleaner. Well, okay, here's another thing. So anybody who watched the Tennessee Florida State game, that was, and this is not hyperbole, that was the worst defensive game I've ever seen Tennessee play. Ever. Especially Blake Burke at first base. I've never seen him like that. Not one time. I think that I don't see that happening twice. I've never seen that. Like, that was the first time I've seen it once. You know what I mean? So we'll see. But their infield can give up some errors, man. Shortstop, second base, it happens. Outfield, not too terribly much, but short and second can get out. But I'm with you in the fact of like playing a clean game. Plays over total home runs. Yeah, what was the number? Was it 2.5? Was that right? Shout out Fanta. Yeah, if it's 2.5, yeah. Like I think it's what, 200. I think it was that what it was. So it sounds like Carolina. Hey, look, man. Beside like this game previous, Virginia Florida State. That was the first game we've had that wasn't a run game. Even the A&M Florida, which wasn't a walk-off, was a one-run game. So like the thought process here is not bad. Like you could play the over. Like you could forget all of the picks that I have on here. You could play the over 10.5 and then play like Carolina plus 1.5. It's fairly likely that you're going to hit at least one or the other, and you could hit both. Like that's a strategy to play, especially with a total that's so low. Theoretically 10.5. That's not a bad strategy, because then I mean you're covered if North Carolina wins anyway. So, yeah, that's not a bad one. I hope you get some sleep. Yeah, oh yeah, we're definitely gonna get some sleep. Definitely gonna get some sleep. 100%, man. It's been a long weekend, but like it's so much fun too. Like I like that. I don't know how you guys feel. I really like the 2 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Eastern. Like if we're gonna play two games, like it's a nice little break that you could break down the next one. Maybe you could shave off 30 minutes an hour, but still, like it's a nice perfect time to like break down the bets in between. Caleb, I'm an Arkansas fan. You have to tell me about. Oh, bro, dude, no kidding, man. Okay, Caleb, and give me your opinion on Arkansas next year, right? Like Arkansas was such a fascinating team because your pitching. I mean, it's always elite. The team's always elite. Like if and you know better than me. Like it felt like hitting just kind of dried up. In not that Arkansas was consistently, a 14-run team because they didn't have to be. Arkansas was just shutting everyone. Like they were going to win 6-2. Like they were like Duke, to where it was like, dude, we don't have to score 14 runs because your ass ain't scoring more than 2 to 3 runs. You know what I mean? But I'm fascinated what Arkansas is going to be like next year. I mean, they're going to be elite, like they always are. Arkansas is a baseball factory, but yeah, man, I love your thoughts. You know what I mean? Because I know it was a tough year. It felt a lot like that 2022 Tennessee year where Tennessee got beat in the supers by Notre Dame. And that was like, the team that hit 5 trillion home runs. Like the bats just like, they just dried up. And it's tough. Like that, it's tough because there's just nothing you can do. And you're watching it, and it's just like, bro, I know you're just pulling your hair out. You know what I mean? Like, oh my God. So yeah, man, I'd love your thoughts like on what Arkansas. Um, you only pay the juice fee, Lou. Dude, that's 100% spot on right there. That's very true. That's very true. Okay, like so the pitchers. Let's go back to it real quick. If anybody's got any questions, thoughts, anything, man, drop them in. Or anybody that's new coming in, picks right here. So we've got Florida State money line, Tennessee money line plus 175. We had that from this morning. But we are adding North Carolina, Tennessee over 10.5. And Tennessee raced to 6 runs at plus 115. If you're on DraftKings, that's where I found it. Hit game props and scroll down. But again, every state is different, right? Like we were talking about how Maryland has been kind of all over the board with it. And I know Arizona, like Ohio, we were talking about that too. If you can't find it, let me know. But that's where we got. And then at the bottom, like I said, the line is there for a reason. Like this is not like a recap screen. Go after this. Like if you want to have some fun and take a shot at something that could get you plus 400, there's a chance that this happens today. And if you think North Carolina does it, I think they're plus 900. So I found this. It's on DraftKings. If you go to correct score and go all the way down, you'll see North Carolina and you'll see Tennessee. Yeah, I think North Carolina is like plus 900. So if you're feeling North Carolina, I mean, which you just saw Tennessee give up double-digit runs 2 days ago, right? Yeah. If you're not afraid to lose a bet, whether you put a unit, half unit, whatever, and you want to take a shot, pretty decent. Samuel said, "Go Vols. Hope they get all the nerves out." Friday. Yeah, that's a good point, man. Like that's kind of what I'm thinking too. Is it's like you had the worst game ever. Defensively, it was, I mean, just a clown show, right? And you won against a damn good Florida State team. So I'm with you. Like there's no reason for Tennessee not to come out loose, having fun, and just get to the plate and mash. But speaking of that, like we'll go back to what we were talking about with the pitchers. So Shea Sprague, North Carolina lefty. Okay. Here's the Mendoza line for each team offensively against the other team's pitcher, if that makes sense. You want to, I mean, obviously you want to get the starter out as quick as possible. That 4 inning, 5 inning, 5.1 inning area, you want to get those guys out of there because if you don't, like that means that they've been mowing your ass down. You know what I mean? So pay attention to who gets to the bullpen first, especially if North Carolina gets to Tennessee's bullpen first. Because if they do, like, let me just tell you, like, I don't know how every state is in regards to live betting. If North Carolina gets Drew Beam out of the game 3 innings or less, I'm not saying take North Carolina money line. I'm not saying don't either. But pay attention to that live total. Because if it's a low number, like if they've got the pitch count up, but North Carolina's got the pitch count up on Drew Beam, but they haven't necessarily scored a ton of runs, but they're getting on base. So you still have kind of a lower live total, but they're going to score. Like Tennessee, like they had to use a lot of arms against Florida State just to get that win, right? That also another point. So teams like Florida State, like when they play the loser of this game right here, think like they had a good outing today and they needed it pitching wise, but keep an eye on the arms because now not only like what I'm getting at is this, don't be, and let me put myself on screen for this one. When you're betting these loser bracket games, and I'm saying loser like that's just what they call it. I'm not calling the teams losers, right? When you're betting these loser bracket games, especially when they've already won a game like Florida State in that losers bracket, watch out for teams that use starters in middle relief or closing because you're one loss away from going home, right? So they're not going to like burn their guys up, but you have to do everything to survive, right? Like LSU used the strategy, but in the opposite way last year through the College World Series because they were winning, winning, winning. And they're like, well, we get to the national championship against Florida. Tell you what, we're not going to start Paul Skeens. We're going to start our closer, get 2 innings out of him because we don't think you can hit him. And then here comes the big dog because if we get a 2-3 run lead, the hell are you going to do? Now, nobody has a Paul Skeens, but like pay attention to it. Teams like you got nothing to lose. Like that pitching strategy is available, especially when you've got teams like Florida State. Like, yeah, say, they've already played one elimination game. They won today, right? They're going to play the loser of this game. Say they win that one. Then they have to beat the winner of this game twice. Now, I know that you've got time in between, but still, like, it's out there. God, I love it. I love the strategy, man, because you're going to have teams that will do that. Like, literally, LSU in the national championship was like, we think we can get a lead, and we can use Paul Skeens as a 7-inning closer. Good luck. They won the national championship. That was the crazy thing, though, about Florida, though. Like, Florida could have won that national championship, and they had a weird year, but then they got to the College World Series. Like, they have talent. And, like, Caglio's not a senior either. Like, they've got guys that are coming back. Pull the picks up here on screen. Look at Mel's. No fear. Look at Mel's. She's here. What did I miss? Well, got a couple plays here. Tennessee, North Carolina over 10.5. Tennessee races 6 runs plus 115. 3 nickels. Raphael. And then just a fun long shot bet. Tennessee win and scores 10 runs or more plus 400. Eric. Yep. Okay. Yeah, there we go. All right. So on that bet, if North Carolina wins, scores 10 runs or more, it's plus 800. Tennessee down to 390 from 400. Yeah, there you go. Like, and again, like that isn't like a recap screen. Play this one. We got to get like it. Know what it is. You know what I mean? That it's for if you just want to take a little shot. And, if you want to put a unit, if you want to put a quarter, whatever. I mean, it's all on you. But yeah. Melly says we are due for a fun bet to cash. We are. And that's what we were talking about in terms of pitching. Like, again, shout out Orange Fanta. I need a frazzle though. Has anybody ever had a frazzle? If you've had a frazzle, press 1 in the chat. It's like an icy, but I think Spanish. It's delicious. Delicious. All right, pitchers. So again, Shea Sprague, North Carolina, lefty. Pretty sick. Good ground ball pitcher. Drew Beam for Tennessee. The Mendoza line. First, who gets the opposing team's starting pitcher out of the game first? And can anyone do it 3 innings or less? If North Carolina gets Drew Beam out of there, they're going to score a lot of runs. I'm not saying they're going to win the game because they've come back in so many games. Like, they're never dead. But, you can only do that so many times too. But yeah, keep an eye on that if you're live betting totals. Just telling you. And I'll put it out on Twitter, like, if it looks good, but keep an eye on that one. Let's see. Elliot went to McDonald's line for breakfast. There we go. Did you get a steak bagel? Those things are fire, man. They're good. Look at Randall. Guzzle says I've heard of Fraggle Rock. Randall said, no, the creator of Frazzle doesn't even drink them. If you go into a Twice Dailies, and they've got them in other stores too, it's Frazil, a Frazzle. They're delicious. Tiger's Blood is good. Orange Mango or Mango Madness. And what was the third one? Bermuda Triangle. Yeah, Bermuda Triangle. It's like a bunch of tropical fruits. They're all good, except there's a fourth one. It's blue raspberry, and haven't had the nerve to try it just yet. I bet everybody's like, "What the hell are we talking about? That we're talking about bets." Um, so okay, so no stay. Oh, damn, man, Elliot, that stinks, man. Uh, like I said, it gives you diabetes. Yeah, probably. Again, somebody said in the chat how I don't weigh 500 pounds. It's not fair. I agree. I agree. I agree. Metabolism and no sleeping. I think it'll work out for you. Although the no sleeping, it could kill you. So keep an eye on that one. All right. So what else do we have? Let me pull. Well, I'll leave it right there. So if I had to give a final score, I'm gonna say 8-4 Tennessee. That's just the first one that came to my head. Not saying that like that's guaranteed, but like that just came to my head. Okay, pitching wise, Carolina throwing a lefty. Tennessee hasn't been the best hitting team against lefties. However, in a park like this, it I think it actually plays in a favor of a right-handed lineup. The interesting thing is Tennessee's hitter Blake Burke. That one could be tough. If you negate him, I mean, like Tennessee's roster 1 through 9 can hit, but if the lefty gives Blake Burke problems, it's a big hit for Tennessee. That's tough because I mean, not only can he mash bombs, but I mean, he just hits. He's like Caglione for Florida. Like you just count on the guy. He can hit. He can hit with guys on base. He can hit with 2 strikes. And he usually hits it pretty damn hard. Firing line drives against the wall, right? Like, keep an eye on that one. Let's see. Reed says blue raspberry. I mean, so that's the thing. You know, I'll tell you what, I'm gonna go get one after the show. Melanie, we're going to get a frazzle after the show. Let's see. Drinking them hugs, bro. Them hugs. If anybody has a Food Lion, okay? If you have a Food Lion grocery store in your jurisdiction, they have big hugs. They look like big Gatorade bottles. They hide them, but they have them. They're good. When we're gonna have the AV up, dude. You know what? Like, okay, so I've been working on the AB3 YouTube page, and I want to have fun with it because, like, we'll talk betting on there, but like we're gonna get the thing started of, like building a brand, and all this is gonna be free, right? Like, it's not gonna be like membership, like none of that. But I don't want that page to like compete. Like, I don't want you having to go to 2 different YouTube pages to get bets. Like, that's not gonna happen. But the food part, like, we're just gonna do random stuff. We'll talk more on it. I've got a lot of ideas that I've written down. I've got like one to where like I want to talk to. Okay, so it's like called it. Look, if anybody wants to jump out because you've got your bets, like do it. Like, we're just gonna have some fun and BS and hang around. Feel free, obviously, but like you got the bets, like, you know, you can bounce out if you want to. I don't want to keep you hold you up. But like I want to do one where it's like a video series of things that we need to know. Right. So all right, so sites like if you were a postal employee, like what do the rest of us regular people like break down the inside of that job. And then, like, how can we be better? Like, what do we need to know? Like, what would you and your fellow, postal employee colleagues say? Like, oh my God, I wish people would stop doing this. I wish they would figure this out. Like, I would have a ton of fun with that. You know what I mean? And like anything, it could be literally anything. Like, somebody works as a chef, somebody works building an interstate. You know what I mean? Like, what the hell do we need to know? You know what I mean? So yeah. So like, yeah, I think that needs to happen. The 3 food. Oh yeah, there we go. All right, we can definitely do that. Definitely do that. The everything course meal channel. Yeah. Uh, okay. So let me show you this. Randall Mims, you see in the chat, is and Randall, correct me on this one, but he's one of the largest Jack Daniels collectors in the world. I think they call it a squire. Is that right? Like he gets invited to Jack Daniels. And let me show you this. And I don't know how well lit it's going to be. Let me see if I can pull this over. This is just one wall. Hold on. Like all of that is Jack Daniels. Pull another one. All of that, like, and I don't know if you can see it. Like, I'll get you better images. Like, he has Jack Daniels like barrels, like right over here. It's awesome. So yes, Jack Daniels. Melody says, "Oh, you don't want to know." I want to know. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I need to know what the post office is doing because you guys have an efficient system. And I mean, you had what? Thomas Jefferson running. He was what, employee one? Yeah, I know, Randall. I'm sorry. So it was a horrible camera view. I'll get a better picture. I promise. Austin, I want to build the Pix website. Bro, I'm going to get with you on that because that is coming. Driving the line, like we've got the merch. If you've been to drivingtheline.com, like we've got the merch up. And I'm not saying that as like a merch plug. Like, I think I can pull that down. Like, I'm not saying that as a merch plug. I'm saying that as we're going to build that website out. Now, we've got some cool merch on there. Legalized college. Like, you'll see it. There's some good. Phil said, yeah, get him a cameraman. Yeah, like I'll talk to you because I want to get a site up that like not that like not to watch the show for the picks, but getting them early, like before the books move them, because like, and I'm not saying this about me, but I'm going to use it, bro. Like we we legit do move lines. I mean, all of us like together, right? So it's like, all right, how do we get it to where the OGs, like, you know, you guys who legitimately are this brand, how do you get the picks early, right? Because, I mean, you're going to be part of the show anyway because you always are. You know what I mean? So it's like not even concerned about that. But how do we get them to you so that you can use it and have them as quick as possible? So yeah, first off, JG, appreciate you on that one. And then second, yeah, Austin, what you said. Yeah, totally. Let's see. We're getting a bit under the yeah. Yep. Did it have red? Oh, dude, that's gonna happen. Trust me. Yeah. There's a there's a couple ways. Like not only the jack part, but like the lumber yard too, man. And yeah, go see Mims Lumber. It's right beside it. If you're familiar with Nashville, like right by Geodis Park, like right across the street. Uh, horrible camera view. How are you not wasted doing these shows? Well, these bottles don't get opened. One person opened them. He ended up out in the street. That's not a lie either. Yeah, we don't open these. These are like crazy expensive. But you're right. That's not the that's not the only alcohol over here. Let's see. Yeah, Randall just said, yeah, the drinks are downstairs in the bourbon. Yeah, totally. Um Hey man, it's all of us, man. You know what I mean? Like, but like we were saying it the other day, like, and I legit like it is all of us, you know what I mean? It's all of us together. Like people say all the time, you know, that like they move the lines or they do this. And I mean, there are people out there, you know, big money people that do it. Like, dude, that's a pretty cool thing that we all have. You know what I mean? Like we did it for an entire season. Like all of us together, like that is pretty cool. Like you could tell people that forever. You know what I mean? Like be proud of that, dude. Like that's something that we should all be proud of. Like think how many people bet at DraftKings, you know? Like that's a lot of money, dude. And we like we legitimately move it, man, together. Like, so, dude, everybody, like, that's a pretty cool thing we'll always have, you know? Play the over. Oh, yeah, Japan. I mean, I'm on it. Like, I feel it. 10.5. Did you get it 10.5? Did DeChambeau win? I I was getting text from my dad during this, and apparently Rory melted down. That's what I got. I can't read the text because the FCC would find us, but apparently Rory melted down. So I take it DeChambeau got the win. Got 10.5. Okay. Yep. Dude. On it, bro. Let me see those shoes. Actually, hold on. I've only got slides on right now. There we go. Oh, he just won? All right, nice. Dude, nice. Plus 2,000. Dude. Well done on that, man. That's massive. Coaches, is he going crazy? He just texted me, asked me, what are we playing on the Tennessee game? Is he going crazy, Rory? Rory's putting at 18 with so Rory. Oh, the Jack shoes. Where are they? I don't know where they are. There's a racing helmet. There's legitimately 2 barrels. Mel's happy Father's Day to all you dads. Yeah, man. No doubt. Oh, hold on. I know what he's talking about. Sorry, I'm an idiot. Hold on. Okay. All right. So you see that? All right. Hold on. It says the shoe surgeon. So it comes with like all kinds of this stuff. It's dope. He's got 2 of them. Oh, yeah, the video thing. Hold on. Well, I can't get it to work, but dope. He's got a couple of them. I think he had some Jordan ones too, or something, right? The shoe surgeon. There you go. Hold on. Let me get the other ones. Hold on. Yeah. I know the white is tough on camera. Yeah. Them Air Force One. It's dope. Like there's a full barrel. There's a couple of them. Yeah, I couldn't get the damn video thing to work. Sorry, Mel's. I had your comment just on here. Yeah, partner with a surgeon. Phone's going off. Look at that. No case. All right, Rory melted down. What else we got? That's it. I think we're good. I think we got it all covered. Yeah, I think we're good. All right, so let me pull the pics up here one more time. Mims Lumber hat. I need some shoes. We need some Mims Lumber shoes. It'd be dope. I think they gave him. Hold on. I'll show you one more cool thing. Like, there's a ton in here. Hold on. Like, so this guitar, right? So you can see, like, it's one of Eric Church's guitars. Like, it's dope. There you go. I just cut my cut my microphone off. Yeah, it's like an Eric Church guitar, dude. Like, there's so much cool stuff that he's got. No, I can't. I cannot play. Well, let's see. Hold on. No, that would be horrific. I played violin. I went to a school, a magnet school, where you had to be in like theater, music, and sports. I chose the violin. I haven't played it in a while, but I think we can figure it out. Randall said old McDonald had a farm. I love that we're just talking about just nonsense like leading up to the game, but I mean, there we go. Let me get the picks up here. Where I can see North Carolina, Tennessee over 10.5. Tennessee races 6 runs, and Tennessee win, scoring 10 plus runs. Just in case anybody's tuning in and wondering what in God's name is going on, right? There we go. All right. I guess we should get out of here. I don't know. I'm having fun. We should just do this more often. I'll tell you what, that's what we're going to do with the AB3 YouTube page, which, by the way, I think we're almost at like 2,000 subscribers on there. Like, we haven't even like really played, like done anything on there. Well, oh, by the way, so um we so the merch site, okay, go to drivingtheline.com, check it out. I'm not saying that to like, hey, go buy something. Like, I'm not saying that, but there is some cool stuff up there. So you remember the intro, like the first video we did with the cigar, lighting the cigar in the house, right? I put that on a t-shirt, spent hours and hours and hours and hours of like, vectoring it, cropping, like all that stuff, make it look good. They banned it. They said I was promoting smoking. So still working on that one. Kills of Rocky. Oh yeah, dude. Hey, man, that's the one thing. Like, anybody's ever in like East Tennessee or something, like you're gonna hear Rocky Top a ton. But when you hear it on the fiddle, and it just starts like, dude, it's such a good song. And like, I know it's not the official fight song. It's also about a double homicide. That's a true story. It's absolutely about a double homicide. Like, just read the lyrics, which is also awesome. Well, I mean, hold on. I I don't think legally I could say homicide is awesome, but you get what I'm saying. Um, St. Phil said, he said, the way to make the girls fall, yeah, violent. Yeah. My dad was like, what? We're renting a violin. He goes, I know your dumbass ain't playing it. I'm like, thanks, Pops. Uh, Played the viola. All right. Look at us. Strings family. I like it. Dell Down says, if Nashville gets a baseball team, how will that affect everyone's great question? And I'll give you the answer as a Braves fan yourself. For a fact, it'll be an American League team for exactly that. Not kidding. Like, because Southeast, like, that you've got the Braves. That's it. And you've had it, like, the whole Southeast are Braves fans, right? It'll be an American League team specifically for what you just said, which sounds crazy, and it's 100% true. Like, they will not bring in a National League team. Like, they won't, because there are so many Braves. Like, they'd get smoked. You wouldn't have a chance because in Tennessee, like, let's just use the state. Like, you're either it's mostly Braves fans. You'll have some Cardinals fans, right? Because of Memphis, proximity to St. Louis. It's the St. Louis Cardinals, AAA team down there. And you'll have some Cubs because it's the Cubs, and you'll have some Reds, for being Cincinnati, Northern Kentucky, essentially. But it's the Braves. And think about those teams: Cardinals, National League; Reds, National League. Like, it'll be an American League team, which is like wild to think, but it's smart. Like, they won't do it. Now, the interesting thing though with Nashville teams is like the Predators and the Grizzlies too in Memphis, is that they're both Western Conference teams. Like, when you have a Preds game and they're playing like the California stretch, and in Nashville, the games don't start until 11. Like, it's so late, And like when the Grizzlies are playing the Warriors, like 10:30. This game starts at 10:30 on Tuesday, So I'm fascinated to see if they can ever get that worked out. But that's what happens when you get expansion teams and teams that move from Vancouver. Like, you just have to deal with it. So BG said After dark, awesome idea. I agree. That'd be a lot of fun, dude. Start a band, coach in a band. What? I almost said what position? What? What would coach be? Like he? I mean, he'd have to be the lead singer, right? Like I could see him on drums, but drums don't get enough camera time, unless you're like the dude from Blink 182, or like Red Hot Chili Peppers. Yeah. Randall, yeah, White Sox owner has been national 3 times talking. It's 100% correct. That would be crazy. Leave the South Side of Chicago, like who knows? But he's like it's going to be an American League team. The guy who opens the curtains. I need to open the curtains. It was a little dark. It was dark. I recorded this morning show. I think it had to be 4:30 in the morning. It was super dark. Super dark. Well, look, let me show you this. The only light that I have now is my microphone. See? There's Jack Daniels everywhere. There's Jack Daniels everywhere. That's a t-shirt right there, dude. Bryson, Florida State UT Masters. Yeah. Telling you, man. Telling you, I want to play this Eric Church guitar. Be dope. Randall, I didn't even notice the backside of it. Pretty dope guitar. All right, I've yapped enough. This has been fun though. Like, okay, let me say this too. Let's do this on the AB. Like, we could do it here, but I don't want to mess up the algorithm. But either way, like, would you guys ever want to hop on? Like, if I drop the link, right, to like through our StreamYard, the program that we use to go live, like, would you want to come on? And I see you meaning everyone. Because it would be fun. Like, whether we're talking betting, food, like whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I can easily produce that live. You know what I mean? And like make sure that like you look good, all that stuff. Like, the camera's not. Yeah. All jacked up. Elliot, I'm ready. All right, hell yeah, dude. Like, I'm down. Like, I think we can have up to 9. I think 9 people. God, my hair is getting long. Gotta cut it. Yeah, I think like 9 people. Yeah. We take it late. Who else is playing? What else do we have here? Like Major League Baseball. Does anybody get anything in Major League Baseball? Right. I need a 10-minute heads up so I can walk the stairs. Yeah, here's another frightening part. I'm playing doctor over here. So everybody, neighbors need to watch out. Brian says would be fun. Hell yeah. All right, Austin. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Yeah. Mels, come on. Yeah, absolutely. You're gonna be the first guest. Like, we need to know all the ins and outs of that non-FedEx lifestyle. Okay. Be a great idea whether it's betting or bullshitting. I agree. Like, completely agree. I mean, we could go live and like, trust me, like my brain works like probably a lot of you guys. Like, we can talk a bet and then talk about food. We can talk about whatever. You know what I mean? So just as long as like you guys have fun doing it, I love doing it. You know what I mean? And I could definitely like bring you on very quickly. It's not difficult at all. You don't need like you really don't need any equipment. Like, you can go live from your iPhone. You know what I mean? But you could certainly use computer. And you know what? That's another thing too. Like, when we start like with the build your brand stuff, um, I'll show you guys a lot of options. Like, if you're looking to do this, like for real, like consistently, and you're looking at like equipment, man, I have used so many different cameras and microphones. Some of them really good, some of them terrible. There are really good options that are not that expensive. Like, Logitech makes a phenomenal product camera wise for, I mean, you could get a very good camera for $50, $100, right? Like, you could go higher, and it's all about like, how good that you want, you know what I mean? But like, their intro level stuff is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Now, where you get into trouble are actually the microphones. It's not the cameras. The microphones, dude, I've been through a lot of them. Like, I'll say this, and I let me pull this down. Like, I'm saying this not to sound like an idiot, but so this is the same mic. Like, if you watch Joe Rogan, this is the same mic that he used. And I'm not saying like for that, but I am saying for the legitimacy, like a Shure Shure. I think this is a Shure MV7. It's one of the best microphones that you can get. And again, it sounds like I'm being an ass. Like, I'm not saying it for that. What I'm saying is like, if you're looking for a microphone that you legitimately like, that's where the difference in quality is going to come. Cameras, yeah, if you get just an awful camera, of course, but like most of them pretty good, like 4K, and the software programs that you use generally go up to like high definition, 1080p, whatever. But microphones can get you in trouble because there's a rule, and this has nothing to do with microphones, but anything that you are going to buy that takes your feet off the ground, spend the money on. Bed, shoes, tires, right? If it's fighting gravity for you, pay the money. It's worth it. Pay the money. Microphones are the same way. Like, I have had this since 4 years ago at CBS. I've never had one issue. And I've gone through before this a lot of microphones that you're like, oh, I'll spend, it's $50, $75. Like, it's a great deal. Dude, you're returning it like one day because you hear those pops and you hear all different stuff. Like, it's the microphone. So if you're ever out, like if anyone randomly right now is like, I'm tired of dealing with shit microphones, I need a good one, I'll spend the money. Shure MV7, SHURE. You're going to spend $200, $250 if you get a stand, whatever. It's worth it. Like, it's absolutely freaking worth it. You know what I mean? Japan, has anybody tried Blackberry Crown? Yes, actually. I had it the other day. Not bad. And like, I drink some liquor. Well, I drink liquor, but like not necessarily Crown. I love Blackberry. I love Blackberry anything. Deep thoughts in life. Like, I'm telling you, microphone, it's like shoes, tire, and a bed, man. Spend the damn money on it. Like, Tennessee Metal Lapis over. Yep. There you go, Mike. Love it. Yep. Love it, man. I love it. Because if North Carolina wins, this thing's going over. Or Tennessee scored 0 runs. Like, Japan, a bet is probably the best investment you can make because you sleep on it. I'm telling you, any single thing that fights gravity for you, spend. Who's ever bought a cheap pair of shoes that you use a lot? I'm not saying ones that you're like, oh, like, wear them once, whatever, is what it is. But that you use daily, dude, you're paying for that on the back end immediately. Bed, shoes, tires, there are others too, but yeah. It's absolutely worth it. Hips are shot. Randall's hips are shot from kicking my ass. Yeah. Accurate statement. I like it. All right, I'll get out of here. Game's about to start. But yeah, like, let's do more of this. All right, I'm gonna work on that, set it up, and again, I don't want to like mess up the algorithm on DTL, even though, I mean, we can do it. You know what I mean? I'll figure that part out. But either way, like, yeah, there's something here, and I could set it up to where you guys could come on and like you don't have to like plan it either. It's just like, if you're in, you're like, hey, you know what? Like, get on for 5 minutes, like, talk on that topic. I could drop the link right there and you could be on just like that. You know what I mean? So I can handle all that for sure. All right, we'll get out of here. All right, Zach, you said it best. Good luck tonight, everybody. See you on the morning. 100% will be live 10 a.m. Eastern, normal time. And look, we got more games tomorrow too, so we're gonna be doing this as well. But yeah, everybody. All right, best of luck. We'll talk on Twitter. We'll get this thing popping here. Sex Panthers. Okay. Samuel, I have a home recording studio using a blue. There you go. I'll tell you what. Talk to Samuel. Like, if he has a home recording studio, the man knows what he's talking about. Like, Samuel, if anybody hits you up like in the chat on different things, appreciate your help. You know what I mean? Like, if anybody's recording, pay the damn money. Like, it's worth it. Pay the money. Cameras sometimes, whatever. Like, there are cheaper cameras that work very well. Recording, buddy, you'll pay for that like bad shoes. All right, everybody, best of luck. Cash these tickets. We'll talk on Twitter. See you all in the morning. Peace.